like it.
Ahead of their press conference on Sunday, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul again had their first face-off.
Listen, I started Jake off and I'm gonna finish him.
And this time, it was void of the friendliness that they displayed when they had their initial face-off in May. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson had their fight rescheduled after Mike Tyson suffered an ulcer attack on an airplane. And after receiving treatment and resuming light training sessions, the former undisputed world heavyweight champion has been confirmed fit to fight in November. This time, they began with a face-off that would remind fans of the kind of stare-downs the baddest man on the planet used to give his opponents during his prime. It wasn't Mike Tyson that wore a grin the last time, but one who had gone through the hardship of pain and is keen on smashing the obstacle he has in front of him.
I knocked this old man the f*** out.
When the pair faced off, it was iconic and memorable. Two fighters who have a cumulative age of 85 years. However, when it comes to boxing experience and accolades, only Iron Mike Tyson has it all, with his opponent having just 11 professional fights, mostly against older boxers and crossover fighters from mixed martial arts or bare knuckle.
The ultimate.
In terms of motivation, Jake Paul is probably more inspired, but there's an unusual determination in Mike Tyson to prove his naysayers wrong. With the face-off, there's something mind-blowing that Mike Tyson proved.
Disruptor, taking on the baddest.
Not just the fact that he's now fit and ready, but the passion he had for the sport burnt in his eyes. His posture and charisma could take fans on a backward journey of 30 years when this man was the most dangerous boxer in the world. One who wins fights even before the opening bell rings and causes his opponents to tremble at his feet with his speed, technique, and punch power.
High IQ in here, but that's a federal crime, Brian. Mike, there are a number of people who also say.
Jake Paul seemed ready as well. In fact, he looked bigger than Iron Mike Tyson, a factor that keeps sending fear down the spines of the fans. He's coming off a knockout win over Mike Perry, and he doesn't look like he's relenting.
I really like Jake a lot, but once he's in that ring, he has to fight like his life is dependent on it, because it will be.
His boxing seems so much refined, and his confidence doubled the one he had when they first faced off in May. But most importantly, the face-off showed two fighters heading towards different directions.
Frankly, you are too old to be fighting a guy who's 28.
While Jake Paul claims he has his gaze fixed on a world championship and is heading towards the better days of his career, Iron Mike Tyson has won it all in the sport and has even completed his journey, and this is just a casual walk for him.
Well, I'm beautiful.
But for Jake Paul, he prepared himself for the bigger Mike, with a smaller one from the bare knuckle fighting championship. And with the strength of that victory, he's looking to end the bigger Mike as well. Regardless, Mike Tyson has sent a chilling warning to Jake Paul ahead of their November fight after the YouTube star defeated Mike Perry with a 6th-round knockout. Tyson and Paul were initially supposed to fight this week, but the boxing match was postponed until November after Iron Mike suffered a medical scare in May. The 57-year-old is committed to fighting Paul, though, and reminded his much younger opponent of how soon their fight was coming up in a menacing post to X. 118 days, minus 16 weeks and 6 days, 17 weekends, 2,832 hours, 169,920 minutes, 10,195,200 seconds, he wrote on X. The clock starts now. Hashtag Tyson Paul, hashtag the clock is ticking, hashtag Jake's wake. Tyson also posted a video of himself silently watching Paul on TV before the latter went on to defeat former UFC star Perry. More than anything, Jake Paul has the advantage of age against Mike Tyson, who's more than 2 times Jake Paul's age. Jake Paul warmed up for his November 15th clash with Mike Tyson by stopping Mike Perry in 6 rounds at the Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida on Saturday night. Paul looked on course for an early night against Perry, who has made his name as a bare-knuckle boxer, when he set him down in the first round with a wide cuffing right hand. Perry bounced right back up, however, and tried to swarm Paul in the corner. Paul, however, landed a hook and a right hand before missing with an uppercut at round end. Paul knocked Perry down for a second time in round 2, this one a clean knockdown from a jab to the chest and a straight right hand. But Perry, low on boxing skills but overflowing with toughness, kept stalking forward. Indeed, in the third, Perry began walking Paul down, trying to land leaping left hooks as Paul retreated behind a jab. In the fourth, however, a Paul hook and jab landed perfectly and took Perry's equilibrium, sending him staggering into the ropes. Paul peppered him with jabs, and another jab wobbled him again. A Paul hook caused Perry to stagger once more at the bell. In the fifth, Paul focused on his jab, snapping back the head of a stiff-legged Perry before a sweeping hook and a right hand landed clean. The end came in the sixth, when a Paul hook sent Perry staggering into the ropes. A left hook and follow-up flurry had Perry hurt again, and he fell in the corner for a third knockdown of the night. He clambered to his feet, but the referee waved it off. "Man, he's tough as nails," said Paul, who claimed he had been feeling unwell and had carried a damaged knuckle into the contest. "I'm sorry it took so long. I did put him down in the first round, but he survived it. Mike Tyson, you're next. I was trying to roll with the punches and hit your ass back," Perry told Paul. "You did a great job. You were way too fast for me and I couldn't adjust." The convincing and bloody victory clears the way for a fight against Mike Tyson. Paul reaffirmed the fight with Tyson is on for November 15th. "And I'm going to get another KO and prove everyone wrong once again," Paul said. "Everyone said that it was a mistake to take this fight, that I was an idiot, I was risking it, but that's why I'm here. I take big risks. I put it on the line, and it's anyone, anytime, any place." Prior to the fight against Perry, Paul said a loss would cost him a chance to fight Tyson November 15th in a heavyweight bout to be televised by Netflix. Paul agreed to fight Perry in a cruiserweight bout after Tyson suffered an ulcer flare-up May 26th, prompting the fight with Tyson to be rescheduled. "I love to take risks and do big events," Paul said Friday when asked about jeopardizing the Tyson bout by fighting Perry. "Mike Tyson called and was concerned about this fight jeopardizing the biggest fight of my career. That's what puts the pressure on me. And I love that. I'm not slowing down for anybody. Mike Perry is not going to be the one to stop me. I'm on a path to a world championship. I'm not slowing down for anybody." And really, Paul's abilities can't be undermined as well. His power is evident, and he has his sights set on a world champion, but he must first pass the Mike Tyson test. When they had the first press conference ahead of the highly anticipated fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, fans thought there was a clear winner following the face-off.
That's all I can say.
I do think that the older generation wants people to see Mike knock me out.
Both Paul and Tyson took part in a launch press conference in May ahead of their blockbuster fight that was initially scheduled for July 20th at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, with tickets for the fight going for insane prices. At the presser, Tyson sent Paul a rather chilling warning while his YouTuber opponent talked his usual talk. "I really like Jake a lot, but once he's in that ring, he has to fight like his life is depending on it, because it will be."
But at the end of the day, I also have the kids, the middle schoolers, the high schoolers, the college students rooting for me and want to see me and Mike.
Paul added, "He was game. I think he's always wanted to do this. This has been a long time coming. We've been calling each other out for years, and we finally got to make it happen on Netflix, the biggest platform in the world. Things just keep on getting bigger and better." The YouTuber turned boxer, who boasts victories over Tyrone Woodley, Anderson Silva, and Nate Diaz, was in a confident mood and even challenged Iron Mike to test his iron chin.
Well, it was a no-brainer.
"I want to see how hard he hits. Mike, I really want to see, bro. Let's see all the legends, the myths, because you're Iron Mike Tyson, but I have an iron chin. People know that. I take shots," he said. "I think people are underestimating me for being able to deal with his power, and that's something that's going to make it interesting." The 27-year-old added, "I am biting off a lot. This is definitely the toughest, most savage, lethal opponent, regardless of age, because power is the last thing to go."
We're friends. There's no doubt it's friends, but in that ring, we're not going to be friends. That's just what it is.
Mike wanted this. Mike wanted it to be a pro fight. He wants the war.
The reaction and reception of it is insane. I almost can't even believe it. So very surreal and very, very grateful for all of that. We're going to see. I'm excited. I literally can't wait to look across the ring and see him and give him a freaking death stare. Tyson dismissed critics who are skeptical of his age and just how capable he still can be inside the ring. When Tyson was asked to respond to detractors who've been critical in his quest to fight the 27-year-old Paul, he clapped back with composure. "I'm beautiful. That's all I can say," said Tyson.
Frankly, you are too old to be fighting a guy who's 28.
Well, I'm beautiful.
The people who said that I am too old to fight wish that they were up here. No one else can do this. Who else can do this? Who else can shut the sporting world down? No one else can do it. You got the both of us, so we're gonna do this. We're friends. There's no doubt we're friends. But in the ring, we're not gonna be friends. That's just what it is. Iron Mike further commented on how training for his comeback has been going. "I'm doing great, but my body is in hell right now. I'm really sore. I wish I was playing possum," said Tyson. "We're going to see, huh, if Paul can take my power," Tyson added.
Just a little more insight into how things are going.
I'm doing great, but my body's right now. I'm sore. Yeah, I'm really sore.
But Tyson delivered one stern warning Paul's way. Once the punches start flying, will he revert back to his old self? "No, I'm not trying to put an end to Paul. I really like Jake a lot, but once he's in that ring, he has to fight like his life is depending on it, because it will be." Mike Tyson's words, even while they sounded jovial, still carried the same tone of brutality and viciousness they carried some decades ago during his prime. Shockingly, even always confident Paul admitted to vulnerability and fear on Monday at the Apollo Theater in New York. "I know it's going to be tough fighting against Tyson," said Paul. "I know I am going to have to fight through adversity. I know I might even go to the canvas. I'm scared, don't get me wrong, but it's not about the fear of stopping me. It's about going into it even though I am scared, and that's what true bravery is."
Underestimating me, and I believe that I hit harder. I know it's going to be tough. I know I'm going to have to fight through adversity. I know I might even go to the canvas. I'm scared, don't get me wrong, but it's not about the fear stopping me. It's about going into it even though I am scared, and that's what true bravery is.
But Paul also countered his claim, saying, "I know I will be able to take Tyson's power," he said. "I'm a natural-born heavyweight. This is what I was born to do. I'm going to show Mike who has more power because he's underestimating me. Everyone else is underestimating me. I believe I hit harder. It's going to be a firefight and a sprint in there, and more entertaining for the fans." One major concern from fans has been Tyson's gas tank, due to his much older age, even though he is in incredible shape. However, that has been sorted out, as taking the rounds shorter allows for more action and less conserving of energy, something Netflix will be grateful for. Tyson was asked during the press conference if he made demands when it came to the rules, to which he replied, "Shorter rounds because I wanted more action. If we only have 2 minutes with the fight going, we'll really be fighting more."
The shorter rounds because I wanted more action. If we only have 2 minutes, we'll fight more.
Paul then added, "It's going to be a firefight, more punches. It's going to be a sprint, so it's going to be more entertaining for the viewers." The only other change compared to regular professional fights is that both Tyson and Paul will wear 14-ounce gloves instead of the usual 10-ounce handwear. Knockouts will still be allowed, and the result will be based on the judges' scorecards should the fight go the distance. Tyson barely ever went the distance during his professional career, with 44 of his 50 fights wins coming via way of knockout. He's a lethal knockout artist and doesn't appear to have lost any power in the training clips he has been sharing on social media.
For stepping up to try to put an end to me, because that's what all these fighters have been trying to do.
Following the press conference, the pair took part in their first real face-off, with both men seemingly in good spirits as they were seen laughing and joking with each other. While there weren't any crazy headbutts or shoves to report on, fans were all gobsmacked by the size of Paul, who looked considerably bigger than his opponent. One fan wrote, "Bruh, when was Jake that big the hell?" Another added, "Just from the eye test, something doesn't look right. Jake looks a little too big right now. Coincidence? I think not." More fans even shared their concern for the former heavyweight champion after seeing the size of Paul. "Mike getting asleep is going to be bad to see," one fan commented.
I really like Jake a lot, but once he's in that ring, you have to fight like his life is dependent on it, because it will be.
Another posted, "Jake Paul is a scumbag for doing this. A guy Tyson's age could get killed. This fight shouldn't be allowed to happen." A third added, "I'm sorry y'all, but Jake is about to knock Mike's head out." However, one fan remained confident Tyson would emerge with the win. Mike Tyson knocking out Jake Paul will bring the world together. However, Mike Tyson may have provided a hint about his strategy for his upcoming fight with Jake Paul during their previous press conference in New York. While it was initially expected to be an exhibition, an announcement last month confirmed the fight would be judged under professional rules. Paul has massively bulked up to face Tyson at heavyweight, with the former undisputed champion also looks in great condition for his age. Sports YouTuber Wade Plemons studied footage of Tyson and Paul interacting with each other during the first press conference and believes Iron Mike exposed his opponent's biggest weakness during their face-off at the end of the event.
And Mike Tyson.
Plemons believes Tyson intentionally aimed several playful digs at Paul's body, suggesting it could be an area he will target in the fight. Sharing his theory on YouTube, Plemons said, "Here is the scene 5-punch combo to the body. We're all laughing and it's all fun, but look at this first little reaction from Jake. As he gets touched to the body, boom. Second one landed, third one landed. Mike is just testing it. He's laughing and they're having a little shove off there, but he was testing those ribs." I do think Jake is going to win this fight and do it in devastating fashion, but Mike can do one thing to Jake that nobody has really been able to do, and that is get to his body. Those playful punches are not an accident from Mike, in my opinion. Maybe he's being a little jovial and he's not thinking too deep into it, but I am giving one of the greatest boxing minds more credit than that. I think that was a test, because Mike is looking directly into Jake's reaction. Is he soft or a little bit tense? Call me an overthinker, but I think Mike wanted a reaction.
Let's get ready to rumble! Yes!
Ahead of their highly anticipated boxing match on November 15th, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul are set to have a press conference at Fanatics Fest in New York City on August 18th. Most Valuable Promotions, Netflix, and Fanatics Events released a joint statement Tuesday, noting that the Tyson-Paul face-off will occur August 18th at 2 p.m. ET inside the Javits Center in NYC. Super Bowl champion, former Pittsburgh Steelers safety and current ESPN analyst Ryan Clark will serve as the host of the press conference, which will stream live on the Most Valuable Promotions and Netflix YouTube channels. Peyton Manning will also appear as a special guest alongside Clark, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter.
Yes! Let's get it on! So what you want to say on that?
Tyson and Paul were originally scheduled to clash on July 20th, but the fight date was moved back due to Tyson dealing with an ulcer. Despite the change, Tyson versus Paul is still set to be held at the Dallas Cowboys AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, and it will stream live on Netflix after Tyson versus. Paul was postponed. Paul took a contest against former UFC fighter Mike Perry in July and beat him by 6th-round technical knockout to improve his career pro boxing record to 10-1. On the heels of his big win over Perry, Paul commented on the impending showdown with Tyson, saying, "After eating Mike Perry as an appetizer, I'm ready to go for the main course on Friday, November 15th. To be fighting the biggest, baddest boxer ever is a dream come true for me, and it is going to be a nightmare for Mike Tyson. It's cool to be featured at Fanatics Fest alongside some of the biggest names in sports, and I look forward to delivering a show the fans won't soon forget on Friday, November 15th. Tyson also gave his thoughts on Fanatics Fest and provided a positive health update. "I'm looking forward to facing off with Jake Paul at Fanatics Fest in NYC. The countdown is back on. I'm feeling great and looking forward to knocking out Jake Paul on Friday, November 15th at AT&T Stadium in Texas on Netflix."
Tell these people who keep saying that this fight is scripted for Jake Paul to win.
Well, just come to the fight and you'll see.
When Tyson and Paul finally meet on November 15th, Tyson will have a huge advantage in terms of boxing experience and accomplishments, as he went 50-6 in his career and won multiple world heavyweight titles. However, Tyson is now 58 years old and has not had an official professional fight since 2005. By comparison, Paul has only 11 fights to his credit, but he is more than 30 years younger at 27, and all of his fights have occurred in the past 4 years.
Listen, I started Jake off and I'm going to finish him.
Still, Tyson figures to be the biggest test of Paul's career thus far, since the bulk of his fights have come against former MMA fighters and relatively unknown boxers. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.